It was the news that broke the internet at San Diego Comic-Con when the MCU announced that Robert Downey Jr. would be back, but this time not as Iron Man, but he'd be back as Doctor Doom in the MCU. And they were hoping to just ride that money train all the way to box office success. But unfortunately for them, everyone saw it for the pathetic, cheap nostalgia bait that it was. Another desperate attempt at the MCU to stay relevant. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. When this news was announced about Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom to the MCU, I saw the footage and I was like, yeah, this is what desperation looks like. That's it. This is what desperation looks like. Because if you were going to bring back Robert Downey Jr., bring him back as Iron Man. Hell, bring back the rest of the original Avengers and then have them, come together for these two final movies and then say, yes, that's the end of the MCU. And then you give it a little 5 years break and then you reboot it and you're good to go again from there. But no, let's bring him back as Doctor Doom and figure that's going to be really good. That the big reveal with him taking off the helmet and everybody going and screaming all kind of thing then. And you were like, yeah, you got that reaction at Comic-Con because it was Robert Downey Jr. But when people actually take a look at it and realize what you're going to do, it wasn't going over that well. People saw it for what it was. You weren't trying to do something. It's desperation. And they didn't just bring back Robert Downey Jr. They also brought back the Russo Brothers to direct these upcoming 2 Avengers movies. Now, like I originally said, you could have brought back the original Avengers and did a movie for it. And as we have Chris Evans, who was just in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, he could still play Captain America. He could still play that role. Yeah, yes, you have Scarlett Johansson, who doesn't want anything to do with the MCU right now, but you could just go to her and say, listen, Scarlett, we're really sorry about what happened. Things with ties and with it. Take a few $1 million and then we just call it even. I'm sure she'd say, okay, no problem, let me go back and do a little Black Widow action there and be done with it. Then you also get rid of Smart Hulk because nobody likes Smart Hulk. People like Hulk. People don't like Smart Hulk. Bring back Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner was in that accident, but I think he has recovered and stuff now. So you could bring that back. And you would have an Avengers movie. You could still have Doctor Doom. You could have somebody who actually wants to play the role of Doctor Doom, be Doctor Doom, but you could still do it. You can still do it. But no, you want to bring him in as Doctor Doom and try to hope that you could bring some kind of nostalgia bit there. And the big question that they haven't answered yet, and that people should really be concerned about, the question that when it comes to these upcoming Avengers movie, who are you going to have in it? Because there are no Avengers anymore. Really? Okay, you have Thor, who again could have did in the original one. Thor, Chris Evans was still in there, anything I can think. You have Thor. That's one. But then after Thor, Love and Thunder, and what Chris Evans would want to talk about was absolutely another disaster. But even though they've already greenlit another Thor movie, God alone knows how that's going to turn out. Yeah, you have Thor. You have Doctor Strange after his last movie. Well, that's another case by itself, right? You have Hulk, although nobody likes Smart Hulk, but that's it. And you have Spider-Man. That's about it. That's about all the characters that you could use. And yeah, we all like Spider-Man, but you never really peg him to lead an Avengers team or anything like that. And Thor and Doctor Strange and Smart Hulk don't really live up to that angle either. So those are the only ones you have. Who's left other than that? Ms. Marvel. Nobody cares about Kamala Khan. That's a fact. Captain Marvel. People will actually avoid that movie like the plague. You understand me? Monica Rambeau, yeah. Yeah, because people barely remember her from the Marvels because everybody's trying to forget that movie. What else? Echo? Who gives a shit? This is honest about it. Daredevil? Well, Daredevil is a street level hero, and if he gets a chance to appear in a Avengers movie with the right guys, I think, yeah, whatever, people like Daredevil. Once you don't screw it up, you didn't screw him up in She-Hulk and in the Echo, and then, oh God, She-Hulk. She-Hulk. Oh God. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Who's next? Nick Fury and his god-awful Secret Invasion movie where they introduce female Super Skrull. Nobody cares about that shit. Nobody. You don't have an Avengers team to put into a movie. That's one. Secondly, what is the plot? The reason the original Avengers movies worked is because the entire MCU run, from when it started at phase 1, 2, and 3, had a plan. It was leading up to something. You have no plan now. Phase 4 was just that jumbled mess and nonsense because you figured you could try and take money from everybody and just run away with it. That didn't work. Phase 5, I guess, I don't even know the phases are anymore. There was another disaster. What are you going to do? Yes, we just had Deadpool and Wolverine. And like I said in my video, when it comes to that, they're most likely looking to put Deadpool into the Avengers. The original Avengers, having him in there could have provided something. But if you decide to turn this into another laughing stock and stick Deadpool in there, you're going to be very, very sorry when that happens, you know. Because yes, people like Deadpool, people like the movie, but you also have to know how to manage it well. Bringing back the Russo brothers and then acting like, okay, we've brought them back. This is going to somehow be the saving grace of everything. If these people do not have a decent script to work with, what are they going to do? And you have nothing to work with. You have built up absolutely nothing. You were supposed to have Kang, who nobody cares about. Kang, to me, has always been like a one-off villain. And they didn't even do him well in Ant-Man. Oh God, Ant-Man and Wasp. We could bring them back. I don't like nobody will care about them and their Commie Mania story. And you know, Ant-Man's daughter, who's suddenly so smart, and then you know, see that she's basically every female in the MCU. Oh God, Black Panther, Shuri. Oh God, but nobody wants to see her. Or even Ironheart. I mean, like, do you have anybody left who's good to put in there anymore? No, you don't. But bringing back Robert Downey Jr., then, you know, God knows how much money you have to pay him and the Russo brothers. I'll get to that shortly. That is not doing anything for this because you cannot just hope to run off of nostalgia bit and figure, well, that's going to be good enough to get people interested. It's not. It's not going to work at all. This is going to blow up in your faces badly because people see exactly what you're doing. Speaking of money, let's get into this article here from Bounding Into Comics. Marvel Studios bets big on cheap nostalgia. Reportedly spent almost $200 million just to bring back Russo Brothers Robert Downey Jr. for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So yeah, you're spending money out the wazoo to bring people back. According to a new report, Marvel Studios' decision to bring back the Russo Brothers and Robert Downey Jr. for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War is turning out to be just as expensive as it is absolutely desperate. Because that's the real truth of the matter is here, people. It was desperation. Borderline. The MCU is not in a good place. They're losing money. Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine, people watch it, they enjoy it. I thought it was funny. You know, the movie I thought it was really funny. I think, okay. But now you're desperate to get on it because you know you have lost money. You should have ended it with Endgame and move on. But then no, the MCU became work. It wasn't fun anymore. And this is the problem that they have, and they keep making it worse by just digging that hole deeper and deeper. So that's what that was. absolute desperation. As announced during the studio's July 27 panel at the 2024 San Diego Comic-Con, in fully abandoning the Marvel Cinematic Universe's original plans for the time-traveling villain following actor Jonathan Majors' conviction for assault, the next two Avengers films will now see Earth's mightiest heroes fighting to save the multiverse, not from Kang the Conqueror, but a Robert Downey Jr. portrayed Doctor Doom. And now the thing about it is, the rumors that I have heard in regards to this, there are a few of them in regards to Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. One is that this is going to be a Doctor Doom from a different dimension because the multiverse ruins everything. Who apparently in this universe, Tony Stark ended up raised as Doctor Doom, and that's what happened. They also talk about how, because Tony Stark was supposed to be the anchor being of the main MCU universe, now that he's gone, the universe is in trouble, and they went looking for another Tony Stark, not to realize that this one is actually some evil Doctor Doom variant, and all of this madness going on with it. Yeah, because this anchor being nonsense didn't work before. Let's keep doing it. Like I say again, the multiverse ruins everything. Yeah. Further, Marvel Studios also revealed that joining Robert Downey Jr. in his MCU return would be Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame directors Anthony and Joe Russo, as well as co-writer Stephen McFeely, the three of whom had been hired to try and recreate their previous success on both the newly renamed Avengers Doomsday and the previously confirmed Avengers Secret Wars. Again, you have to have something to build to. The fact that you want to rush this, and that's because the first Avengers Doomsday is coming out next year, apparently. You understand me? And then you have Secret Wars the following year. And doesn't give you time because you have not done anything with phases 4 and 5 to build up to this. All you have left is to rush. You wanted to play Kang off as something going on which was never going to work. And now you want to do this. People would have loved to see Robert Downey Jr. come back as Iron Man. Yeah, you have like a Iron Man or machine team or something. That would work. People would love to see that. People don't really want to dig this, but whatever. Continue, eh? Right, we talk about how he came back and talk about the Victor Von when they bring back Robert Downey Jr. and all of that. Right. Bringing back the actor who arguably defined the MCU after previously sending him off with one of the most honorable deaths of the entire franchise, tapping 3 of the 4 behind-the-camera creators responsible for the MCU's biggest box office wins at a time when its interests and profits are on a sharp and constant decline, throwing away one of the most iconic villains in all of fiction for a cheap, key-jingling cameo meant to so blatantly appeal to audiences' nostalgia. Most audiences took these movies not as a sign that the franchise was on a track to reclaiming its former glory, but rather that as confirmation that it was all but officially on its last legs. Yeah, Doctor Doom is not a character you use for cheap, key-jingling cameo and nostalgia. No, Doctor Doom is a threat. That's what Doctor Doom is. Doctor Doom is a threat. We've had the Fantastic Four movies that have never done the character very well at all. But when Doctor Doom is Doctor Doom, that man is a threat. He has magical abilities. He has technological abilities. He's brilliant. He is dangerous. This is not a dude that you play with. And when you do this just to get some cheap cameos out of it, and hopefully get some kind of nostalgia bait going, people see it for what it is. This might have been a big reveal, but it only showed people how desperate you really are. Right, and as far from just PR disaster, this lukewarm reception to their new Avengers plans could also end up costing Marvel Studios a pretty penny, as the higher-ups have reportedly bet big on their nostalgic Hail Mary play. Per insider sources who originally spoke to Variety's Tatiana Siegel, Marvel Studios has spent $80 million to bring the Russos back for both films and significantly more for Downey Jr. Further said the sources also informed Siegel that the Russos' deal doesn't include back-end compensation, but it does contain performance escalators that kick in at the $750 million and $1 billion threshold. So yeah, they already spent $80 million to bring back the Russo Brothers, and they spent more than that to bring back Robert Downey Jr. You understand? Because I'm guessing for whatever to get he out of retirement to come back, they have to pay him like $100 and something million just to do this. Honestly, just to do this. Plus, you're getting performance escalators and all kind of bonuses and what than the other. So you're spending a lot of money to do these things. You could have spent that money, brought back the Avengers, which would have been really interesting to see. Had you brought back the Avengers and did an actual good movie, people would actually want to see that. But no, you want to bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom for some cheap cameo. And we all know, when it comes to what the MCU does now, no villain can be bad. You understand? They're going to bring them, very well bring in Doctor Doom and then have some nonsense about how, oh, he's just a misunderstood being who never had a chance and all that he's evil. And then, it's probably going to end with Peter Parker giving this, Iron Man, Doctor Doom variant a big hug and him deciding, I'm going to use everything that I know for good. And I can't wait until people in the cinema take a look at that and then they all just collectively say these words.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?